But here's what Jack said. He said, "My heart is broken for Charlie Kirk's wife and kids. What happened yesterday was a tragedy for all of us. I don't care where you stand politically. No one should ever lose their life for what they say. And if you're cheering this on or trying to justify it, you're part of what's wrong in this country." There was a political shooting this week, and I was never like a fan of Charlie Kirk or anything, but it's fucking horrifying to see that kind of shit, and the way that the video of it kind of like went viral instantly. Like I saw the video and it's fucking disturbing to watch a man be shot.
Sure, yeah, pretty much everyone saw that shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. And so I thought like it was actually Dryden who was suggested we maybe dig into some of the like music world's comments about it. And so one of the first,
and it was here in Utah.
Yeah, it was in Orem. It's crazy. I went to school at UVU. I didn't,
Yeah, I taught there.
Yeah, it's Orem, Utah, where I grew up. It's a really odd. It's crazy too. Eric is Mike's daughter Stacy was hit by a car there and killed too. So it's like,
oh yeah,
just this like weird like cloud of death hanging over Utah Valley University. It's like, what's going on there? That's not a good vibe. But Darren was one of the people who kind of said something about it, and basically he said, "Fuck political violence. I'm not part of the far right or far left. I'm part of the far middle. This is our symbol." The middle finger. So this is from Metal Injection. Nothing more as Johnny Hawkins says it's time to bring public executions back in a statement about Charlie Kirk's death. Tells a fan to get fucked in the comments. Nothing more as Johnny Hawkins pops off on Instagram with inflammatory statement about the murder of political influencer Charlie Kirk.
That is a headline because I think Johnny posted something and then there was a lot of like backlash from fans or whatever. And that's when he started like going off on fans.
Yeah.
So he didn't just come right out and say that from the start.
Right. This is what kind of Metal Injection, how they kind of like pre-summarize the article. Ahead of the politically charged story that follows, here's what we factually know about the death of Charlie Kirk. The shooter, Tyler Robinson, 22, and his father turned him into the FBI after his father was made aware Robinson was the suspect. A family member explained to the FBI that Robinson had become full of hate and started spreading hate, as well as the fact Robinson had become more political in recent years. The bullets used in the shooting did have engravings of "Hey Fascist Catch" and "Oh Bella Bella Ciao," supposedly in reference to an Italian anti-fascist song, Ciao Bella. No transgender ideology was imprinted on the bullets. However, it's been noted that Robinson did not vote in the last two elections, as does not have any political affiliations as of yet, meaning he is not a far-left activist like Trump claimed. I actually saw more recent things saying that he's not he's denying it now that he's actually the shooter. Like he's not working with the police and stuff. He's telling him he actually didn't do it.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's getting weird. Anyway, to the music part of this, nothing more as Johnny Hawkins went a step further than ruffling feathers and went for skinning the whole damn turkey when he made an Instagram post in response to the death of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk 2 days ago. Hawkins uploaded a 5-slide written post containing the following. So this is actually his post. R.I.P. Charlie, agree or disagree on any issue. You seem like a good person at heart and someone who stood for what they believed in. I don't shed tears when public figures die, but for some reason this event brought me to tears and bothered me more than most. I feel for your family and friends. You will go down in history as someone who stood on moral and principles to the very end. They just created a martyr. He didn't take it down, so I'll give him credit for that. R.I.P. Charlie, you stood for what you believe. They just created a martyr. My heart goes out to Charlie Kirk's. Charlie Kirk never lived by the sword. He lived by free debate and open discussion, words, not violence. The gaslighting, projection, and mental delusion is over. We are sick of it. To all my strong but silent fellow Americans, have you had enough? Are you angry enough? Time to bring public executions back.
Wow.
The thing about that kind of stuff is, especially in a situation like this, we still don't know the whole story.
Mhm.
You know, everyone's a rush to. It's like everyone's in a rush to get revenge, or eye for an eye type shit. But it's like we don't really know the full story yet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And the thing that's the saddest about this is everyone jumps to politicize it too. Everybody jumps in to go like, oh, well, he's this or he's that. Who cares? Like, he's dead. You know, like he's a human being who had a family, who had children and a wife, and he's gone now. Like, his children are going to grow up without their father. And that's fucking sad.
And probably see that fucking video.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible. But I don't know. It really, it's like I never was not a huge fan of his or anything, but it's like a really disturbing thing to be happening to someone who
crazy person. Like, it's such a random person to get
to be murdered like that violently. Like, who did he piss off? That's like that bad. I mean, it's like he wasn't saying anything that, a lot of other people aren't saying too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, Johnny might have gone a little bit too far with the public executions thing, but
I don't know about that.
He has a right to his opinion, and hopefully we still live in a country where he can share that opinion.
The whole point is that we don't want public executions like what just happened to Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, that's not really the good answer to that.
And
my guess is that there's a difference between the assassination and an execution. If an execution is they've been tried,
I guess,
they're guilty.
Gotcha.
And then it's an example to everyone else. I mean, if that's what he's going for, I understand. I'm not saying I agree, but
right.
Yeah, gotcha.
No, you're right. I'm sure that's what he meant. Like, for clarity, he meant like, when we find the person who did this, they should be publicly executed in the same way that Charlie was. But I don't know. I like what's the Gandhi quote? Eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind.
Right.
It's a lot of people relished in it, like kind of celebrated it, because this is the thing that I think that, like, to form my full thought here. This is the thing that I think bothers me the most about this is we sit and call each other these names like commie and Nazi. Like, the right-wing people will call everyone a communist. Oh, you're a communist. And the left-wing people will call everyone a fascist and a Nazi, to the point where, you get a kid, if this kid actually did it, who's a little off kilter, maybe jacked up on some, pharmaceuticals, and just has a weird day and decides, oh, I'm going to kill this guy because he said something. He's a Nazi because he's convinced that this guy is like some kind of a Nazi.
Well, and
when it's like,
I feel like just shooting people too, like this, it creates a snowball effect, like, especially cheering it on, to where, like, if you're cheering this on, like, when someone who gets shot on the other side of the plane or something happens, like, don't be crying when people shit. Not that they should, but people are gonna shit on it, and it, like, what do you expect? So I don't know. It's kind of a stupid way to think about it, even if you don't agree with them.
It feels like too that our politics have gotten more violent, like a lot more violent in the last 10 or so years. People, I mean, they took shots at Trump too. You know, whether you believe that was real or not, but some people think.
Did you see what that? I didn't know who this musician was, but Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
you don't know Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan.
Oh, Bob Dylan. I was
with
going
a
to say
V.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said?
I think he's still riding off his Free Palestine press and trying to like keep that controversy going.
Yeah.
I did see some of it.
Yeah, he was bashing Charlie Kirk, and then he said something about his pronouns were, and everyone was like cheering and stuff like that. And
so you guys are supposed to be better than that, right? I thought you guys were the virtuous people.
Yeah.
Who accept everybody,
The one thing, there is footage of him saying, like, basically he said that, and this is one of the things that all the people that were like dunking about him getting shot were saying, is that there's footage of this, so I know he said something to this effect. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, in a free society, like, some kids or some people are going to have to die if you want to have guns. And I kind of like don't disagree with that. It's kind of like people are going to die in car accidents if you want to have cars. People are going to die in plane crashes if you want to have planes. It's par for the course to some extent. But a lot of people took that and said, like, because he said that, he's a piece of shit and he deserved what he got type shit, you know?
Yeah, and I anytime there's a quote like that, it's like you gotta wait or like see the full context, because they were also saying that shit with that whole empathy thing, and then the full quote is like, "I don't believe in empathy. I much rather prefer sympathy or something, because empathy is like putting yourself in someone else's shoes, and that's something you can't do or something."
Again, there's this like over dramatization as like Trump's a threat to democracy and these people are a threat. No. They were voted in, that's democracy. Like you might not like what people voted for, but that's democracy. Sorry. And so it gets turned into this like, well, these guys are fascists, or, you know, and it almost, the other side of it too is like, you can already see them starting to use this as an excuse to go after like video games and social media. Like, social media is a cancer on our society. And I'm like, okay, yeah, so is television. So are films and magazines. Like, before social media, that poison just existed in other.
Yeah, exactly.
So like people need to fucking like raise their kids maybe. And like, instead of, you know, anyway.
Posting about Charlie Kirk.
Right. I'm getting off the rails, but one more comment came from Jack Osborne.
Just hold on before you pull that up.
Yeah.
Our boy Scribble says R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, and fuck anybody who's cheering his death.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be like if Bernie Sanders got shot and killed at his oligarchy rally, you know what I mean? And then like all the right wingers like, haha, you got what you deserve, Bernie.
Well, and I was comparing it to, like you were saying, George Floyd, or George Floyd, basically. Like everyone was saying he deserved to die because he was on fentanyl. A lot of the Republicans.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no. Like that's not
same
true.
thing with I got mad at a lot of my liberal friends with the January 6th, the chick at January 6th, Ashley Babbitt. A cop murdered her. Like, she was climbing a fence. She didn't have any weapons. She did not deserve to be killed by the cops in the same way that Floyd didn't, you know, but liberals will cheer for that because they believe that's
when Joe Biden got diagnosed with dementia, I saw all the comments, like people were like, fuck him, he deserves it. Like,
yeah, you know, exactly.
It's the same shit. You guys are doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, point being, we need to get out of the cult mentality. But here's what Jack said. He said, "My heart is broken for Charlie Kirk's wife and kids. What happened yesterday was a tragedy for all of us. I don't care where you stand politically. No one should ever lose their life for what they say. And if you're cheering this on or trying to justify it, you're part of what's wrong in this country." Here's our boy from thrash metal. People who celebrate assassination of someone are really self-reporting. Mm-hmm. See, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't believe in what I see starting to happen is, oh, let's put people in jail or fucking make them lose their jobs that said something about Charlie Kirk we don't like now.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, fuck that too. Like,
but then again, you can't expect, like, especially if you have like a higher profile job or something, like you're a teacher, you can't just post that you fucking hate Charlie Kirk and he deserved to die or whatever and expect to keep your job. Like, that's there's a business. They're a business, like, or if you work for a business, like, they want to protect their image. Either way, you know, they don't want to deal with that. So I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things. But again, it's a human being more than anything. And I hope that, like,
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, sorry.
I was just gonna say, if you don't like, if you don't like Charlie Kirk, just ignore it or block it off your feed. Like, I never understand that, like with the internet.
Yeah, it was like it's the same. It's like almost like we've been having the same argument for years and years. It's just a different technology now, because it's like back in the day when D. Snyder and Frank Zappa and all those people were fighting the PMRC about censorship of stuff that they didn't like. It's like, yo, where are the parents? Like, it's your job as a parent to censor this stuff from your kids,
Yeah.
or explain to them what it means and like what it is, not just like expect the government to fucking, you know, block people from selling CDs with songs you don't like on them.
That's kind of what they did.
Yeah, well, they didn't necessarily block it. They just tried to make it, and you know, you could argue that they actually made those albums more edgy with their parental advisory stickers.
Yeah.
But